No matter how far you go down a particular route in guitar building, there is almost always a way out. And I am here at the final video in my Great Guitar Build-Off Invitational entry for 2021. The deadline is in 2 days. It is Saturday and the deadline is Monday. And I'm still not happy with this headstock. The headstock is okay. It's not what I designed earlier that had the curves that matched the body shape quite well. Yes, the body is still not a body yet. And it doesn't suit, it doesn't work, it just does not fit what I had in my mind. The whole point of this entire thing is that I hope that you guys are going to start a bidding war to try and own this guitar. The link to the auction is actually in the description in this video. And if it isn't, it will be very, very soon. It'll be on greatguitarbuildoff.com. This headstock doesn't work. In this episode, I am going to fix that, apply stain, finish, create a guitar body out of a body and a top and a back, and complete an entire guitar. Why not? Welcome to Crimson Guitars. Welcome to my home studio and welcome to Great Guitar Build-Off 21. Burn it. Oh, it should be a laser. Haha, yay! I want to do a 4-in-2 headstock. I really do. 4-in-2 would work well. It would compress things nicely. I even considered converting it into a headless system. I've only got a headless tremolo here. I don't have something that would work. And also, I don't know, that's not a particularly headless feeling kind of thing. Maybe, I don't know. A 4-in-2, seriously, because I'm a professional guitar builder, opens me up to being sued by Ernie Ball, who own that. I don't want to risk that. I just don't. At least 4 on top and 2 on bottom. I could do it a reverse style, but I've got a headstock already. I am going to stay with 6 in line, but I'm going to now add some more material. Onwards. Onwards. We can do it. Yeah, we can do it. So a couple of cuts here to make it almost parallel to that edge for clamping relatively easily. I'm forcing myself to be relaxed and I'm actually really enjoying this. Deep down I'm terrified, but you know. While that cures, I'm going to move on to the bodies. I need to sort out where the electronics are going. It's going to be a fairly standard volume and a tone and a switch up there. I need to fine sand every single face of the instrument. And first of all, I need to sort out that gap. that collection of strange angles and small pieces and fiddly bits, I dropped it about 6 times. That was actually really rather difficult, but I'm happy with the final result. It is all in the tiny details. Control positions and then sanding. I've got a pretty good eye. That's actually incredibly cool. Do I want it bang in the middle as well? That's too far up, isn't it? Yeah. There we go. Cool. I need a new headstock. That's actually not unattractive, not particularly original, but nothing is, apart from the first one. I mean, this is very much the absolute last chance I've got to get this headstock even remotely right. Oh, let me address something here. Okay, so you are all worrying about, not all, some of you are berating me for cutting that away. And yeah, I've cut some of the long grain, but I haven't cut the whole thing. And there are many guitars where you've got only a tiny amount of material holding the headstocks. This, I've cut some of the grain. I haven't cut all the way through, not by any means, nowhere near. This headstock is going to be as strong as any other headstock ever made. That's a sweeping statement. It's not aluminium. It's not carbon fiber wrapped. It is, however, perfectly strong enough for its task. And if it ever breaks, if it ever, focus on me, thank you. If it ever breaks, I will build the future owner of this guitar an entire new neck, including inlays. I stand by my work. Except for strange binding headstocks where it's obvious that the binding's going to shatter. I mean, why didn't you tell me? Gosh darn it. I really, really, really enjoy my life. Thank you.
We have a visitor. How you doing, Rocky? He knows he's the boss.
This is going to be stained, but that's tomorrow. All right, so we've reached 10 or so p.m. It's late. I want to put in a full day tomorrow, so I'm going to get some sleep. But before I can do that, I need to bring at least 2 of these parts together. Let's get some gluing done. I like changing. I like living on the edge. I like not knowing what I'm going to do until I get there. I know that I will find a solution to most issues or problems, and it's how I like building. Knowing exactly what I'm going to do tomorrow would be just boring as all hell. Now, that being said, I had in my mind a thought that this instrument would be pretty thin. Essentially, the neck would glue direct onto the back, and the top would be, lightweight. I'm after a very lightweight instrument. The issue I have with that, though, is that I don't want backplates. So I don't have backplates, and that means that installing the controls would have to be done through the sides or through the pickup cavities. And that's fine, except for the fact that I've got a 3-way switch here that is just too damn big. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this piece of scrap flame maple and glue it to the heel of the neck and make it bigger. And then tomorrow, oh yes, tomorrow, this instrument comes together. I think this is literally the most deconstructed a guitar has ever been on its final day of construction. Worse probably even than the GGBO 2020 entry. By the way, go and vote before you see what I do. Okay, so it's too late for me to run bandsaws or sanders or anything like that. I will clean that up tomorrow, and the guitar will come together. Or it won't. It will. We're good. Good night. Morning. Let's get this build done, shall we? These Iwasaki rasps are amazing. I don't care that I am really running out of time here. I'm not going to make something that I'm not 100% happy with. And the internals of this guitar are going to be on show all the time, and that is just crying out for a little bit of binding. So a little bit of binding it shall have. That's a poem or something. There is a chance everything's going to move, so I'm going to go grab some salt to stop slippage. I've marked everything, I've double checked the center lines, and here we are. I am going to hold the neck in the vise in the bench, as the body is much, much lighter than the neck. And with that stable, I should be able to get all the way around it and glue this properly. Hopefully. These clamping cauls and neck rests, etc., have been very, very useful for this build. I'm not used to working with necks that are pre-carved. Perfect. Now I'm only gluing the back on because I want to stain the inside, because obviously that's going to be on full view eventually, so it's going to take still more work to clean this up and sort it out. I feel I may well have left this too late. We'll see. A little bit of salt, and that will stop everything from slipping.
should stop everything slipping.
The old adage is absolutely true. One can never have enough clamps, period. Clamps, vices, etc. are what make our world go round. Okay, we're there. That is... Okay. The neck is glued to at least part of the body, and there is progress being made. Where are we? It's coming up at lunchtime. I've got glue on my watch. Oh, by the way, my next build is going to be a partnership between myself and Vertex Watches. I am very, very excited to do a watch-based build without any time limitations. I'm not going to be rushing it. That and Nebula 2 is being finished. Anyhow, that public service announcement aside, I've got about 36 hours before this video has to actually go live, and my poor sister still has to edit it. I do feel bad. I really do.
Before the glue cures, let's get rid of the excess.
All right, so while that glue is curing, I am going to talk about strap buttons. I need somewhere to fix a strap button or two preferably, otherwise they won't work, and a jack output. The back and the top, they're going to have to be joined by a piece of wood. One there, and one there. Those are going to be the only traditional ribs, as it were, in the entire instrument. And of course, I'm going to use some offcuts. The time has come. It was close. I'd forgotten that I had a massive chunk of wood as a clamping core. But there. What do you think? Okay. This is a bit of a stretch. Dry run. There's just enough springiness there to allow me to do that. Okay, so here we are at the final sort of stage of this whole thing, and we haven't even seen what I have planned on how to hold the whole thing together, really. We'll get there later. We'll get there later. Now, the issue is, I need to have something in the middle, underneath the bridge, in order to solidify the whole thing. I also need to make absolutely certain that I have the correct break angle. So, doing that should allow it, as long as the back isn't pulled up as I clamp. So, what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the original body that came with this, what used to be a kit guitar, believe it or not, from Crimson Guitars. Check it out. And I'm going to use that as a clamping call to hold the back down to something big and flat, to stop it pulling up and then raising the whole body at an angle that essentially would require a neck reset. Yeah, that. I was also going to stain the entire inside and glue it in 2 or 3 phases, but actually the natural look's growing on me, so we'll leave it as is for now, see what happens. Good old spring tension will hold that in there, we'll be all right. Fantastic, that's all right. Et voila! So I've got another piece here that is a different, I need to make it smaller. These 2 edges need to be done. I'm going to, now that this is all glued, sort these out. I'm conflicted. I am conflicted. I cannot say that I'm not. I have an idea for what I want to do. And much like the headstocks, I suspect a number of you at least would hate it. And I'm now thinking to myself, do I do it here? Is you is, or is you ain't my baby? That's all I've got to say to that. Do you want me to play or not? I mean, I specified. I said unique. Unique it's going to be. Marmite. Or Vegemite. for our Antipodean friends. Okay, fine. Done. That's what's going to happen. Let's make that smaller. Ba-da-ba-bow. Is you in my baby? Do-do-do-do-do, do-do-do-dum-bum-bum-biddy-da. Oh, that didn't work. Hold on. Really am seriously enjoying myself. I mean, of course I could do things the normal way. Really could. Why should I? They're congratulating me. So I had one final look, just quickly, and I wasn't happy with what was happening in the middle there. So a piece of wood across and a couple of clamps, and that has closed the gap that was showing on that piece. Woohoo, done. I'm going to take this footage, deliver it to the editor, and come back, and by the time that's all done, moving on. It has been curing now for long enough. Coming up on 2 hours. And it's a very warm day. I think we're okay. I don't think I'm going to have an issue with neck dive. I really don't. That's really quite... Yeah, the balance point is under here, and that's before hardware, anything goes in, or anything else that's going to happen now. And this is the body that came with it, that we no longer need. Standing stick. All right, the internals have been sanded, tidied up, and we have something here. Yes, it's not very strong at this particular juncture. That will happen next. Now, I want to achieve something, and there are various different ways of doing that. I originally thought of having bolts going all the way around the perimeter, and nice and regular and perfect, and a bolt going from the top and one going from behind, meeting in a long washer, and that would do quite nicely. And then I thought about threaded bar and ran a test, and something I've wanted to do in a build for a long time is something akin to the spokes of a vintage car. And in a test, I played around, there you go, with some threaded rod, essentially drilling through the top and the back, tapping those holes and then putting threaded bar through. And I have a bunch of threaded bar, but I'm not going to do that. The conceit was, and people have asked me how to essentially fake sunbursts, etc., and that sort of sunburst effect that we love on guitars, and I want to do a physical sunburst. I am going to be utilizing kebab skewers, bamboo, which is something else that a lot of people have been asking me whether I can use in guitars in a meaningful way or not. And essentially it's going to be drilled through in multiple different ways. It's going to create the edge. It is incredibly strong and stable, and we're going to have some fun. Slaughter me in the comments if that is your bent, but if not, well, let's get on with the build. Oh yes, and my neck is absolutely solid. If you've watched Nebula, you'll know that I am playing with removing as much material as possible in electric guitar builds. The fact that I've got a piece of wood behind the bridge, that turns this into an electric guitar. Basically, it means that the top and the back are not going to be resonating as it would with an acoustic to anywhere near that level. But yeah, here we go. And I will be staining, I will be adding a stain, probably a tiger's eye kind of stain. That was the test there on my sanding stick. So I'm back to having a baseboard there. I want a flat back. I need to, before I do anything else, I need to have that in position and have that angle sorted. So I'm going to drill and glue one there, and one there. Once I've done that, and it's all stable, I'm going to drill a bunch of holes and then clean out the tear out, etc., sand the inside, and then install a bunch of this. And it's going to be fun. And I'm drilling through the starters with a small 2mm or 2.5mm, and then going up. And this is going to reduce the tear out, etc. So let the fun truly begin. Damascus hammer, Neil? So it turns out that what you need to do is have the stick chopped. There we are. Here's my baby. Be my baby true. There we go, a nice curve, a couple of pieces in there, and immediately just those two. You see how strong it is? The glue hasn't even cured. See how strong it is just at those points? That's as strong, if not stronger, than a normal traditional acoustic guitar side. So let's build up, shall we? Whoa. I love the 3D effect. One piece, flat top, but we've got multiple curves and carves and shapes going on. Very happy. And I'm not going for even geometric patterns and things. I'm going for a sunburst. So it took me a little while to find a drill bit that was a little bit better of a fit. So a little bit less hammering and bumping around. But yeah, we're getting there. Cows. Lots of cows. And the sunset. Anyway, a lot more to do. I'm not going to get all of them. I'm not going to, yeah, I don't think I'm going to do all of these. We'll see. So, while the glue is drying, doing as much else as I can. Cool. All right, I have got my bridge. I found a couple of fantastic little M4 bolts with, well, essentially they're sex bolts. There's a male one and a female. And it's attractive, and that will be screwed from the front to the back of the guitar. This is going to be... there's a lot of moss, the windows are open. This is going to be so cool. Now, I am no longer at the point where I am operating at anywhere near peak efficiency. And I'm also not going to compromise this guitar. I utterly refuse to do that. What he said, I'm not going to compromise this. I'm not going to rush any further. I am now, we've got the cows mooing in the background. It is now too late for me to finish this guitar to the level of quality that I require. And that's it, essentially. That is not to say that I don't want you to go and vote for me. We had an entrant into the Invitational last year who finished 2 weeks late, so there's precedence. The auction is going live soon. I am going to do another video showing this instrument completed. This is the finish that I'm going for. Well, almost, actually. What I want to do is have a burst. So we'll have black with a burst going in here. I might even add a few more pieces of dowel. And then we're going to have a dark burst and then brown and then golden in the middle. And we'll have this sort of tiger's eye effect. And I suspect the inside is going to be left natural. I think that the combination of the two things is going to work very, very well. The thought was also to have the same sort of thing here. So the tiger's eye burst on there, but a different color, maybe. Anyhow, go to Great Guitar Build-Off to vote. You can see enough of this instrument now to see where I'm going with it, finally. And the auction is going to be going live on Tuesday. By the time the auction is finished, there will be photographs of the finished guitar, and on top of that, the video will be live, the next video, so we'll figure out where to do that. Talitha and I are broken. We have got to take a little bit of a break, but we will have the final video of this series going live by the end of the week. Saturday at the very, very latest, and then we are taking a holiday. I really appreciate your support, and I am really, really excited to see what you think of this. The solidity, how strong this is as an instrument, is as strong, if not stronger, than any normal guitar with bent wood sides. It is going to be absolutely stable. I am, of course, going to paint in some shielding paint and make sure that the control cavities, etc., is shielded properly. But as a playable, ergonomic instrument, it is not going to have spiky bits sticking into your belly. Absolutely not. We're all good. Thank you for watching. This has been the final episode, part 1 of my Great Guitar Build-Off Invitational entry. I'm going to go have a nap. Good night. Sleep tight. Okay.